just here. So yesterday we discussed about the development, quality, production systems we have added to our system. How we added? Click on the connection, new connection button, right? Next. So then add the description, SID, instance number, and application server name. All the details you need to mention it. Then you will get open. That will be added to the here. Suppose example production. Open. Then you will log into the production. Use the user IDs and passwords which I informed in the morning in the group, right? Just to open that one. It will work now, right? It will work. Then you can log in. You can start working on this transactions and everything, right? This is the OK code box. This is the home page. So any questions from anyone here regarding the how to add the systems and how to log into the SAP system?
When I'm adding it, so I see a screen which says that what do you say, group server and message server.
You need to select not the group servers. Maybe you selected the group servers, I guess. So
yeah, custom. I need to select the custom applications.
Custom. Yeah, by default, it will come the when you click on the continue, click on the next button. Just it will come the custom, not the group server. So just select the custom application server for now. When you have to select the group application server, I will explain it.
Got it. Thanks.
Group application server, custom application server. Yes, Mamata, you have some doubts? No? Okay. No worries. So, okay, I think you are perfect to add the systems into logon pad. One side while doing the installation, other side, you can start adding these three systems into your SAP logon pad. Why? Because these three systems are our permanent systems. Remaining systems are not required. We can uninstall it. Why? Because any number of SAP systems, our activities are common. So why unnecessarily we have to do the installations, right? So it's not required. So just select any one of the systems, then log in. Any systems you can log in. All three systems also you can log in. So no one will stop you, right? So after you log in any client, so here we have the 100 client, you can log into the 100 client. So then continue with the option without ending any other icons. Then log in. So just you logged into the systems here, right? This is the home page here. Maybe if you are getting different screen, different theme, maybe you can change the theme also here. As I mentioned here, we can change the themes here. Go to the options, visual design, then theme settings. Here, whatever the themes you want to set, you can set the themes here. Okay, whatever the themes you want to set, you can set the themes here. So that is the thing here. Okay, so now let's go to our topic. Then later, so in the last 15 to 20 minutes, we can take as the question and answer session. Okay. So here, so we are discussing about so yesterday we discussed about the one small transaction code that is called the SICK transaction code, right? To check the SAP consistency, right? Consistency check. So whether the system is consistency or not after the installation. This is one of the post-installation transaction code here. The same time, yes, Shahad, you are asking something?
Yes, sir, Shehzad here. Sir, I wanted to know, see the transaction code which you informed us yesterday, that is SICK. So, like, how we are supposed to know that in which system we should like check that transaction code, like whether it's developed.
Any systems, any SAP systems, any transaction code, if the SAP system means it will work. All our basis transaction codes, it will work in any systems. So something while you, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, sir. You're saying something.
No, while using this transaction code, if you found some inconsistencies, It will give the written code like something like, okay, you have some issues with the some work process, you have some issues with the database, you have some issues with the your operating system level, some service is not running, something like that. In the red item, it will write the some messages here. So based on that, you need to take the action.
All right. So as I understand that on all systems, when we'll work in company, we are supposed to check on all the systems,
Yes, especially
all the
product.
codes.
Yeah, all the codes, especially in the production systems, we have to do the daily monitoring. So that is what we
Okay.
today I explained it to the previous batch students, daily monitoring. So whenever you join any organization, the first thing is you have to execute the transaction codes and check the system status. How my system is behaving, whether it is good or not. So non-production systems, you know not to, you no need not to execute it. Whenever any any issues, that time you have to execute the transaction codes in the non-production systems. Like production, every day, maybe 3 shifts, we have to execute the, we have to perform the monitoring. SICK, some other transaction codes, we have to monitor it and check if any issues, we need to fix this, all these issues, we need to check it out, right? So those are the one of the daily monitoring transaction code. As soon as daily your system is up, as soon as system is up now, right? Your daily monitoring transaction code system is up, your system is installed, right? So then what next here? Once the system is installed, you have logged into the systems, done. Your the clients 000001 clients are created, so that is done. So then automatically it will come as part of the installations. Then what next now? Right? So then you executed the transaction code to check the system behavior is fine now. The next one is like, once you've done it, so then we need to check, execute the SGen is the transaction code. Why? Because SGen is the load generator transaction code, which means this will compile the all the programs. This will compile the all the programs and reports in your systems. It will compile it. All the programs and LM2 for the speed processing. Sometimes if you use any transaction code, it will take some time. Why? Because as soon as your installation is completed, it may take some time, right? So that's the reason you need to execute the SGen is the transaction code here. Here, to generate all the objects, select this button. What are the components you need to choose it? Suppose I want to, normally we have to select all, right? Select all, click on the next button. Here I won't select all, I will select only one thing. Just click on the OK button. One object I'm selecting here. Only one thing I'm selecting here, right? So why? Because remaining you can select it. One thing I'm selecting here, one object. Why? Because so each component, your SAP system means collection of all the software components. So this all will call your SAP system, right? Subsystem. These all components are, each component has the set of programs. So programs, set of programs are called the one component. Selection of components, set of components, collection of components are called the one software product here. Then select here. One is you selected. Go to the continue button here. So click on the continue. Why? Because we need to compile all these programs and everything here. See here, all the programs and everything is getting compiled here. It will compile it. It will give the results. How many objects are there to perform it? Here you can see 9,363 objects are there. You can just schedule the job here. Click on the red flag. It will be ready. Then it will run it here. It will run it. So job was successfully scheduled, which means it will run it in the back end. It will run it in the back end, right? It will run in the back end. There is a one parameter issue. It will throw in the error. Maybe you can run it here in the system. It will work. I maybe double click it. So that's the reason. So it is active. You can see the job is active here. So you will come to know all these transaction codes. Don't worry. You will come to know all these transaction codes. Okay. SGen, load generator. So just remember, we need to execute the SGen load generator as soon as post installation activity. And also in RZ10, import the profiles from OS level to your SAP level. Then STMS configuration we have to perform it. Then logical system creations we have to perform it. Then client creation we have to perform it. Right? So all these things, some parameter changes we have to perform it. So all these things we have to perform it after that, as soon as your system is installed. Just to remember these headlines, what we are doing here, right? Actual work comes one by one. One by one, we will discuss about all these things. Okay. Just remember few post-installation activities. Okay. So you have done the installation. Now actual topics comes our topics comes here. Okay. You've done the installation. As part of the installation, so installation means you build the one new SAP house you build it. In that house, how in our house, our family members will stay, same as like here in SAP system also, 7 family members will stay here. Those are called the SAP work process. We will call it as the normally here family members. In SAP language here it is called the work process here, right? Those are the family members are like, so 7 work process here. So Dailog work process, right? And also update NQ related NQ work process, background work process, message server, gateway, tool. These are the 7 work process. 7 family members will active with the one SAP system. Each SAP system, 7 family members will stay here. So that's why we will call it as the DVEBMGS, right? So U means, just here there is a formula they have written here. U means update, right? D means dialog, E means NQ, B means background, M means message server, G means gateway, S means school. So this is the DVEBMGS, right? So that is the formula for the SAP work process here. So the initially we will start discussing about the all these work process here, right? The first we are discussing about the dialog work process, right? So what is mean by dialog work process here? So the first transaction code, after the you enter the SICK transaction code, next we should know about the SAP, the architecture, how the SAP architecture will be here. The first work process is here. Whenever you are logging to the SAP system, the first work process is the dialog work process. So what is the roles and responsibilities? Suppose if I ask you same question, what is the responsibility of your father and mother, your family members, means you will start explaining each and every person, right? Same as like here, I am asking the same question to this work process. What is your responsibility in the SAP system? So I'm asking the same question to this dialog work process. Then this dialog work process will respond saying that, so my responsibility is to take the user request, and process the user request. Take the user request and process the user request. So this is the responsibility of the work process here. So then how can we know whether you are free or not? So there are the some status of the work process here. Status of the work process we can find out in the SM50, SM66 here. Status means, so here work process are in the waiting status, wait status, then running status, sleep, slop, stop, error, then private mode, then hold status. This is the status of the all the work process status here. Status of the work process here. So for dialog work process, we will use the transaction codes are called the SM50, SM66 here. SM50 is local work process overview. Overview means whether the work process are in the waiting status or running status or sleep, stop, error. The work process are in the status. So if you go to the SAP system here, then if you execute SM50 transaction code here, you will see the work process status here, right? You can see the work process status here. So dialog work process status here, right? So then update work process status here. right? Background work process, spool. So all the work process status we can see it here. So it's running. Some dialog work process running, waiting, running, hold. So some is the waiting, some are the prime mode. So something like that, you can see the work process here. So dialog means the first three letters is the DIA, then DIA, update, UPD, BTC, background, spool, update 2. So we have the dialogues are, so five work process are there dialogues. So here dialogues are the very important work process here to handle the user load. So to take the user request here. So dialog work process is responsible to take the user request in the SAP systems. So one is the, so take the user request and process the user request. So you are logging to the SAP system means because of the what dialog work process should be the waiting status. So not the running status. Waiting means it's a free. Waiting means it's a free. Waiting means dialog work process the free, which means it will take the user request. Running means some users are running in the dialog work process. So those users are working in the systems. What are those users? So currently I logged into the 100 client. This is my user ID, basis user ID. So I am in the system. I am executing something. So all the work process are occupied to the my user here. Only out of 5, 1 is free. Remaining 4 are so action status, means running status. So here dialog work process is responsible to log to take the user request. Whenever you are clicking the SAP login button, it's opened. Then you can log into the SAP system here. Okay, you can log into the SAP system. Here you are able to log into the SAP system means here your request is taken by the dialog work process here. Your request is taken by the dialog work process here. So like that, so you can log in. If you have the more dialog work process, then more users will be logged into the system. But each work process will occupy the some amount of memory, So whenever you are increasing the more, so we need to take care of the, we need to consider the, so we need to consider the work process memory also. We need to consider physical memory, RAM memory also we need to consider here. So here dialog work process is responsible to take the user request. So can you tell me the status of the work process here? Here the status of the work process is like waiting, running, sometimes sleep. It will go to sleep mode also. So running means something is running. One user request is running. Whatever he is doing, that is fine. So stop means the work process is stopped due to some errors. Private mode means the work process does not have enough memory, then it will go to the private mode. Hold means, so the work process hold, or it's hold on the other action to be completed. It's hold status. Other call to be, you are in the hold due to some other call already in progress. So that's why it's on the hold status. So this is the status of the work process. Suppose outside when we are talking, when you are in the meeting, your status is meeting status, right? When you are in the flight mode, you're in the flight. When in the flight, you are in the mode, flight mode. When you are busy, busy mode, right? When you are in the call with your friend, your mode is call, right? That is the status of your phone calls, Teams calls, and everything, right? Same as like here, when the SAP, when the work process are busy means running means some other user already running. Waiting means it's free. The only thing is if work process are waiting means the work process are free to take the user request. It's free. So that's the reason. So this status we can find out in the SM50, SM66. SM50 is local work process overview. Only this application server related, only this application related work process we can see it here. So if we go to the SM66, it's like global work process overview, which means all the instances. Suppose if you have the more than 2 application servers, more than 1 application server, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the application servers related work process status we can see from here. So how many work process are there? What is the status? And what exactly it is doing? What program it is executing? Who are the users currently is occupying with the each work process? All the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here. So currently I logged in with the basis user. I am doing the some load generator activities. That's why, see, the status is showing that SGen is running here, right? SGen is running here. That information we can see here. As part of the day-to-day activity, here, we have to check the work process status here. As soon as when you log into the system, the first we need to check whether the work process are free or not. So if it is at least one is free, it will take the user request. If not free, then even you cannot log into the SAP system. Right? So this is these are the issues you may face it. Suppose I will do the SM66 here, right? SM66 in the transaction code here. And some other transaction code I will execute it. Why? Because our motive is here, all work process should be all work process should be here, then you cannot log in also. You cannot log into the system. If the 0 is free, you cannot log in. Why? Because here Dailog work process all are occupied. It's running status. You cannot log into the SAP system. You cannot log into the SAP system due to all work process are occupied with the other users is occupied. So you cannot log in with your user, cannot log in because of these issues, right? So we have to carefully check whether work process are free or not here. So now we know Dailog work process is responsible to take the user request and process the user request here. The status of all the work process we can find out in the SM50 for the local work process overview. SM66 is the global work process overview. We can find out global work process overview. Global means suppose one application, one SAP system, we can install the multiple application servers, we can add it. That information we can find out in the SM66. This is the local individual application server related overview. We can see it. But this is the multiple application servers overview. We can find out in the SM66 is the transaction code here. Right? So any questions here? Any confusion? Initially, you may get some confusion, but any confusion here?
Sir, can you please just elaborate like between local and global? Like global means, as per my understanding, it is like with all the users, right?
Not the all the users. Okay. So let me draw the one SAP architecture here. This is the presentation layer. This is the SAP layer. This is the database layer. So initially, when you installed it, you have installed the one ASCS instance, one application server instance, you have installed it, right? So this is our SAP architecture. This is the SAP architecture. So this is the SAP GUI. You have the SAP GUI here, presentation layer. This is the DB layer here. You have the DB layer here, right? So whenever this is the DB layer. So in the SAP means we have the ASCS instance, right, above central system, and we have the primary application server, means SAP application server. That's why first we installed, right, primary application server. So this is the central services, above system, central services. Here we have message server, NQ server. So remaining work process here we have D, V, B, G, yes, remaining 5 are there here in the SAP application server. Only remaining 5 are there in the here. Remaining 2 are there in the ASCS instance. This is what we discussed in our previous classes, right? So the user will log in from GUI to SAP here. So directly will connect to the application server, which means here Dailog work process will take your user request, then process all your user work and everything in the system. Then so it will give the results back to the user. So Dailog work process is responsible to take the user request and process the user request. In SM50, you can see in the transaction code SM50, you can see all these 5 work process status and everything. We can see it here. So tomorrow there is a load. You have only less load, then one application server is enough. Tomorrow your business is growing, you need to add the users are increasing, then so the system is not supporting, it's heavily loaded. Then your management decided to have one more application server, one more SAP application server to be added to the here. In this case, we can create the additional application servers here. Additional application servers we can create it. N number of additional application servers, the same SID we can create it. Only this one. This one we can create we have the option. We cannot create the one more ASCS instance, one more DB, but only additional application servers we can create it here. Why? Because each application server you will get the DVBGS. Then each application server you will get the DVEBGS, right? So DVBGS you will get it out, right? Dialog, update, background, gateway, spool. So all you will get from the each application server. So that whenever you have the multiple application servers, this application server also will take the user load and everything. That's why we can add the multiple application servers also when there is a situation like load is heavy. That time we can add the multiple application servers. We can add it here. So now you see, so you have the one application server, you use the SM50. Now you have the 1, 2, 3, 4 application servers. Then in this case, so you no need to use the SM50. If you use the SM50, only this application server related work process status you will get. But what about this application server? What about this application server? What about this application server? Right? In this case, SAP, they have created the one more transaction code. It's called the SM68 for the global work process overview, which means how many application servers you have. All application servers related status we can find out in the one transaction code that is called the SM66. SM50 is the local. Local means only that individual application server related information we can see. SM66 is like, it's a global. Global means all application server instances, all instance related information we can find out from the here. We can find out from the here. Right? This is the global work process overview. Right? So global SM66 is the global, means all instances. So from all, this one, this status, how many applications? The hundreds of application server, then hundreds of application server related information you can see in the one glance. That is called the SM66. If you want to check the individual, then that is the SM50. That is the difference. So normally when we will do this installation means, suppose currently for us, we are okay to handle this type of load and we are good, right? We are good. But tomorrow, dev system, okay. So tomorrow we have the multiple things, right? Tomorrow you have so multiple things. Multiple things means multiple application servers you have. So means users are increasing more. Your business is growing fast. Users are increasing more. That time you may have to increase. You may have to add the additional application servers. So here you can increase the work process here. Why? Because users are increasing means we can increase the Dailog work process. Then what's the there here? But how many you can increase it? If this application server is down, then none of the users cannot log in, right? But here we have the advantage here. If this is down, if this still active, then users can log into this application server. They can do the transactions and everything. If you put all the work process in the one system and then something is happened in this application server, if this is down, so none of the business users log in and they cannot do any transactions in the systems. Why? Because you have only one application server that is down. How they can log in? If you have two application servers, if one is down, if one is active, then they can log into this system and they can do the transactions. This is the SM50, SM66 transactions related information. Okay. So is it, you got it? Anyone? Any confusion here? The difference between the SM50, SM66?
Sir, can you please elaborate about the pre-mode, private mode?
So that will come, Somesh. That will come. That there is a separate topic for that one, private mode. So okay, I will
Okay, fine.
There is a memory management concept in that.
Right. It is actually
yes, right. So I will give the overview. Since we are discussing about the hold mean, It's a waiting for the other process to finish it, right? Running means something is running. Something means some of our user request is running. Waiting means it's a free. So sleep, stop, error, and some errors comes, it will give the stress. Private mode. Private mode means each work process certain amount of memory is reserved, right? Suppose your space is 2 GB only, but each work process 2 GB only, then that memory limit is over. It's already using the memory limit is over, then it will start consuming the, so another memory areas, it will start consuming the, then OS level memory, then system will throw the alerts. The system, the work process in the private memory, work process in the private mode, preview mode means private mode. The work process status here, we are talking about the work process status here. Private mode means private mode. When the work process in the private mode means we are in the dangerous status, dangerous zone. Dangerous zone means anytime system will go down, anytime system will go hung status, anytime. So immediately we have to detect and we have to cancel that user who is running what it is doing. Immediately we need to take the appropriate option. Otherwise, anytime during the business hours, your system will go down, then immediately the business users will complain like they are unable to log in, they are unable to do the transactions and everything. So anytime that they will so anytime. So if you found out private mode, immediately we need to cancel that user. Why? Because if you see now, I'm in the user, my user is running. So if I'm in the private mode means definitely you can just go ahead and cancel the, go ahead and cancel the work process here. Cancel without core, with core you can cancel it. Then so your system will be, your process will be cancelled. Means your user request will be cancelled here. If I do now, my job will be cancelled now. If I do now, so see here, if I do now, so the process, the work will be cancelled. Whatever I'm doing here, that will be cancelled here. That will be cancelled here. So we can cancel it. Do you want to cancel the select process? Yes. Which means that will be cancelled here. That will be cancelled. Now you see, so that is cancelled. So you see, so all will be cancelled now. It will be solely all will be freed up. All will be freed up here. All will be freed up. So here shutdown, starting, shutdown, starting here. So then all will be, all the process which are running on the dependency bin, all will be cancelled status. So this is the way we can also cancel it. In SM58, we want to cancel any one of the work process, we can cancel it by selecting the procedure. You can cancel it here. Can cancel it. That is possible here. So select it, go to the administration, work process, you can cancel it, right? So you can also check the trace. Trace also you can check it out, but currently you don't need to set any trace. That I will tell you. Depends upon the scenario, I will tell you. Okay. So now you got it right. What is the difference between the SM50, SM66? So these are the Dailog work process related transaction codes. Right? Any questions here from anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So next transaction. Yes.
How can we identify if this is the pass and this is the additional application?
So here to identify which one is the pass, which one is the means, it's not possible. Why? Because so only thing is whoever doing the installation, that person knows which one is installed first, then which one is installed the next. The first which is installed, that is the primary application server. The remaining all are the additional application servers, additional application servers, additional application servers, additional application servers. All are the additional application servers. It's not why, because all are having the same work process, same symptom, same structure. So we cannot identify, right? Which one is the primary, which one is the something like that. We cannot identify. Why? Because all are having the same. So then, so it's not possible to identify which one is the prime. New persons cannot identify, but already existing person who done this installation, they know. Oh, first I installed the 10th application server, then 11th, 12th, 13th, like that I have done the installation, something like that. Previously, we have some identification, but nowadays we don't have anything identification to identify it. Whether the pass or anything, so it's not like, okay. So that is the about the the Dailog work process. So Dailog work process is responsible to take the user request and process the user request. So the responsibility of the Dailog is taking, processing, taking, processing. That is the responsibility of the Dailog work process, right? So that is the responsibility of the Dailog. So any questions in this one, Dailog work process? Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir. Can you open the work process, please? Sir?
Okay.
Uh, Double click on the like SQL server,
Which one?
the running program, the dialog running one.
Okay.
Double click on it. I mean,
Yes.
is there any information to find out in
Yeah,
this?
this is for the what that work process is doing currently. It is running status means what exactly it is doing here. Right, you see the work process is running. Some statistics we can find out some additional information. So it's running means what it is running, which program it is executing. So what is the name of the program? What is the user client, right? So what exactly it is doing in the database level. Suppose if you just double click on it, so we will see the what it exactly it is doing. Nothing is doing here. Now it is free now. So nothing is doing here. So which means it's a 0, 0. So only here what we can find out. So what exactly it is doing in the database, which statement is it inserting, updating, or deleting, or sequential read. So what is the runtime information? All the information we can find out from here. So just for the information purpose, so if you double click it, any running work process, you will see the work process related information and all those things we can see it here. So currently the sequential read is so 32 means so number of sequential number of actions 202 actions it's performed in the database level. So direct read 30. So that's kind of information we can see in the here system level. We can find out from here. So what it exactly this program is doing. So all the information we can find out in the systems. So runtime information, DB statistics, database level, what it is exactly doing. Some SQL statement it is executing. So memory side, what exactly it is doing, how much memory it is taking, total how much memory, in that how much memory, in that how much memory, in that how much memory. So all the information, just overview of the system information it will show here. Okay, so this is about the just we will come to this topic again when we have the other topics, right? Daily monitoring, when that comes that time, so you will get more knowledge. But basic level knowledge, this is the basic level knowledge, which means Dailog work process is responsible to take the user request. All the work process status we can find out here. How many are free? How many are free total? How many are free? How many are running? What is the status? These things we can see. So whenever any issue comes, we have to come here, we have to check what is the status of the all the work process. Suppose sometimes all the work process are in the running status. So none will be free here. So in this case, new users cannot log in. Why? Because here all are occupied here. All are occupied running. Why? Because here the Dailog work process responsibility is to take the user request. But it is free, it will take the user request. Free means waiting status. If it is not free, then it won't take the any user request. It won't take the any user request in the system. Why? Because it's not free. It's not free. That's why it won't take any user request in the systems. Okay, got it? This is the SM50, SM66 related information, right? The next one is called the update related information, update. So we can increase it. So it's not like that we have only 10. We can increase the number of work process. We can increase it or we can decrease it. Suppose, sir, currently whenever we do the installation, that time we will get the 10 Dailog work process, 6 BTC work process. Fine, 10 means at a time multiple people can log in, right, sir? Suppose can I increase it 100? Yes, you can increase it. The thing is, before increasing it, so you have to consider the your RAM size. Why? Because each work process will occupy the some amount of memory. So we can increase it. How we have to increase means, so as I told you, right? It's not like that we will complete the SM50 transaction code. Basic we have discussed. So there is a profile parameter administrations. When the topic comes, we will come to know how to increase the work process here. If the 10 is there, then maybe 50 users can handle it, right? Each work process 5 to 10 users can handle it. One Dailog work process will handle the 5 to 10 users here. If the 10 is there, 50 to 100 in between, it will handle it. Okay, my users are 200 users are logging at a time. Then how can I increase it here? Then we can add the one more application server, or we can make it this 10 to 20 work process so that users can log in. But the only thing is you need to consider the, so when you are increasing the one process, each work process will occupy the some amount of memory. Each work process will occupy the some amount of memory and CPU. So you need to check. Without checking the, if you increase it, your existing process also will go die, will dead, will stop. Your system will be stopped status. You, so there is a one word in Telugu, right? So same like that. So here there is a sentence. So there is a story, right? Same as like, so if you the memory is very less, what you can do, you can add one more application server, you can add it, so that equally these two will be distribute the loads. Equally these two will be distribute the loads. Then if one is busy, other will take the load. If the other is busy, this will take the lead. If the two are busy, then so system will go down status. Users cannot log in, right? This way the load will be distributed among the application servers. If you have the more than one application servers, we can increase it, or we can create the one more application server also. So that is the, or that is the work process status here. Dailog. Okay. Now let's start discussing about the one more work process, that is called the update, right? So we know Dailog, for Dailog in the DV, EB, MGS. So Dailog we completed SM50 and SM66 are the transaction codes. So update, now update work process. The update related transaction codes are the SM13 and SM14. So don't think like all SAP transaction codes will comes under in a order. So it will not come in order. You have to remember something like that only. Okay. So SM13, SM14 are related to the update related. Update means, so updating the user transactions, update in the name itself we have a, so one information, updating the information, user records into DB table levels, database level, right? Which means in the Dailog mode, user will log in. Once he done the transaction code, then update will go and update into the database DB table level. He will update it, right? So we can find out in SM13 is the transaction code. Here you can see the whether the what is the status of the updates here. So you can go see, are there any cancelled updates? Are there any running updates? Are there any already executed updates? You can find out here. Just we need to select the all. Just click on the OK button. You will see any update records found here, deleted or failed status. You can find out here. Just check the previous dates also. Maybe change the date or remove the date. If you remove the date, it will come all. It will display the any update records found or not. It will give the clear information. Updates means whenever user done a transaction, it will generate the one record. That record will go and update into the table level, right? So suppose here user will log in through SAP GUI, through SAP layer. This is the DB layer, right? So here, whenever you are logging to the SAP to here, so Dailog work process will take the your user request, right? Dailog will take it out here. Then in the Dailog mode, you done the one payment, you booked the one ticket here, one cinema ticket, one movie ticket, or one train ticket you booked here. So the transaction code, the transaction, whatever you done that the transaction will go, the update work process will take care, then that will go and update into the table level, it will go update into the database level, it will update it, YB. It will update the database level. That is the update work process will do. Updating the user records into table level, this will do here, updates here. So here in SM13, we can find out are there any failed update records are there or not, we can find out here. If anything failed, then we need to select it, we need to repeat it. So if not failed, then we are good, nothing is failed here. And also if the update is active or not, we can find out, go to the SM14. Here we can see the update is active here. We want to deactivate it. If you deactivate it, then user cannot commit any transactions in the systems. So user cannot commit any transactions in the system because of updating is failed. Update is deactivated, which means update process is stopped here. Update process stopped. Now, if I go in the system, maybe I'm doing the one transaction here. Maybe suppose like I'm doing the one transaction code here, I'm creating here, right? And just I'm doing the one thing I'm creating here. It will generate the some record. It should generate it, right? It should generate the some records here. Okay, I'm just clicking on the save button. Why? Because I have deactivated the update. I'm just clicking on the save button. Then it won't save. It won't save. It won't save. If you wait 1 day, 2 days also, it won't save. Why? Because so your update got delayed. It is waiting. It is waiting to update it here. So your update is deactivated here. Your update is deactivated, which means you have stopped your update forcefully so that your update got deactivated here. You can see here, your one record is found here. It is in progress status. After some time, it will come to the error status. So what is the transaction code? SU01. Who user? Basis user. So what is found? One update is found here. So why it is failed means you have deactivated the update here. In SM14, we have deactivated. Means it should not pick up any user request, any transaction. It should not pick anything here. See here, my update is delayed here. Update is delayed here. So your transaction is not saving here. It is getting delayed. See, it is processing. Slowly it is processing. So if someone is activated or something, then so someone is activated. See, someone is activated in the back end. So maybe who activated, you can find out. But if someone is activated, immediately the transaction got saved. You see, right? The transaction got saved into the system. You can see the basis user is created. The transaction is saved. Then when you go to the SM13 to check it out here, then you see your nothing is there pending. That update got processed here. Update got processed here, right? So here we can find out the SM. So 13 and 14 are the update related. So updating the your records into DB table level, it will update it. Update the records, transaction records into database table level, it will do. So this is the update work process. So each work process, there is a responsibility, roles and responsibilities. Dailog, taking the user request, processing. After the user done one transaction, the update work process will take care updating into the DB table level, it will update it. If the update is not working, then your transaction will not be saved. Means it's not done, it's not committed, it's not completed. That is what update work process will do here, right? So the update related transaction codes are SM13 and SM14. We can find out. So we can find out. We go to the SM14, SM21. The system locks. Tomorrow we'll discuss about that one. So who deactivated the update and all these things we can find out from here. So tomorrow this will come. So for today, what you can do, you can practice this 4 transaction codes here, right? SM50, SM66, then SM30 and SM14. All these 4 transaction codes. And yesterday's one you can practice it. This 5 transaction codes you can practice it today, right? Make sure. So what is mean by SM50 means you have to answer. 66 difference. What is mean by update work process means all these things you have to answer it, right? Which means we have to practice it. That is the update related, right? So that is the update related. So you can practice it, deactivate it, do the transaction, activate it, do the transaction. Yeah, you can practice it, not a problem. Okay, you have the multiple systems, you can practice it, check it out. Why the transactions are not saving, something like that, right? So this is the way we can check the statuses and everything here, right? So any questions from anyone?
Yes, sir. So as I understand that SM13 and SM14 it's one and the same, right? Because on the page of SM13,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
bottom,
Bottom you can see
uh,
here.
yeah, administration, when we click, that takes us to the SM14
14 only.
page, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Administration means you will go to the SM14 only. So you will go to the
yes.
SM14 only. Yeah, both are same. But so yeah,
So how to practice, like how to, like what code do you want us to perform so that it will get stuck? Like if I'll first, I need to stop it with the code that is SM14. I need to go there and deactivate the update. Then I need to perform
to
another.
yeah, yeah, you can deactivate it. So then go to so any transaction code. Suppose like take the SU01 user creation. Okay, here try to create your own user, right? They may be text user, try to create it here. Just click on the save
Okay,
button, maybe give the DDSC, click on the copy button, right? Give the dummy password here. This is the user
okay,
management security part will come. That time we will discuss more here. Just click on the save button. Then it will give the delayed. Why? Because now if it is active, the user,
deactivated.
yeah, it's deactivated. That is the reason it's delayed, it's waiting. So if it is active, then
Mm,
immediately our transaction will be saved.
all
Same as
right.
like,
And this will show SM13, right?
yes, SM13. SM13. SM13 is the transaction code. From here also, you can see whether the here also you can see whether you updates are deactivated. When you click this button, administration, you will go to the SM14 only again. You can activate it here. You can deactivate it, activate it, deactivate it, activate it. Not a problem. But normally always this should be active only.
Okay. And sir, like for an instance, if there are any error, like while performing the other transactions and those transactions, like for an example, if in SM14 the status is deactive, and if we have performed yesterday some transactions, so definitely today it will show under process, like it's waiting in
Yeah, yeah,
SM13.
yeah,
Yeah.
SM13. So that's why you can select the all yesterday's, right? Maybe you
Yes.
can choose the yesterday's date. So then select it. If anything stuck, here you can see. Maybe you want to check the last 10 days, you want to check the all, then remove the dates, click on the OK button. It will give the all the information, all users, all. You want to check only cancelled one, let's select it, check the cancelled one.
All right, sir. And will that also show in SICK, like SICK, SICK?
So update is deactivated, right? No, it won't show. Update is
It won't show.
deactivated, it won't show. Why? Because update is deactivated means it won't show. Maybe it won't show update deactivate because it's SAP internal, right? It won't show. So manually we deactivated. If it is something is error or so not all the errors are reported in the SICK. So there is a separate
Yes, yes.
transaction
I'm
code.
so sorry.
Yeah.
My
So
question framing was like if
OS
there is
level
an error.
inconsistency, any inconsistencies, DB inconsistency, operating system level inconsistency. So some system inconsistency, major thing it will show in the SICK. So remaining where
Oh,
can we see sir means, so there is a one transaction code. Let me show you here. Why? Because we are in the same scenario. So you can go to the SM21 is the transaction code to check the system logs here. So
SM21.
SM21. Go to the SM21 transaction code here. Here, so at what time? Maybe remove the time. Just check it out. The click on the execute button here, right? So you will see the
Okay.
what happened. So who activated the update? Who deactivated? Who activated? Who deactivated? Then what happened? So today we deactivated, again activated, deactivated, activated. Multiple times we have done it, right? So all the informations are
Yes.
recorded here. See here, all the informations are recorded. So SM21 is the trans. Now I want to check the yesterday's one. It means go to the yesterday's date. So then check it out. What happened from yesterday's to today. So yesterday, see, update is user SAP star logged, DDAC logged. So many things. So started, restarted. Then again some jobs, languages. So many errors are there. Yesterday's and today's update deactivated. So many things we can find out from here. So SM21 is the transaction code to find out the system logs.
All
So you
right.
can
So
remember.
basically, transactions which we perform, the logs, like I mean the error, it will show in SM21, not in SM14, right?
Yeah, SM14 is only for the update deactivations or activations.
Oh,
One reactivated, we
active.
have to activate it.
Okay, okay.
Only
So
that
the
case,
errors, if
yeah, only that case we have to go to the SM14, we have to activate it. SM13, 14 are related to the updates related. So you want to check the system-wide all the errors, everything means go to the SM21, check all the system-wide, all the users related errors, logs, everything you can find out.
SM21, right?
Yeah, SM21.
Right. And yeah.
Anyone, any
All
other
right.
questions?